There is a man of mission, of purpose, the hero to the foe, the rise to the me. Quietly he is heroic, loud he is in the flesh. The me is strong in his eyes, the good in people he acts upon.
Somebody who doesn't know Jason would think that he's completely crazy.
He's special. There's something about him.
Like, I just did a script reading with Jason the other day. It's a 2-day script. You have to write the script in 2 days and then produce a thing. It takes a half a day to read this script because it's 92 pages long, and he wrote it in 2 days. How did you do this in 2 days? You need to be crazy to pull that sort of thing off.
Because reindeer are actually called caribou in some areas of the world. You know, you could call them reindeer, you could call them caribou, or you know what, just call them rainaboo. Then you got it all covered right there, right? So I take care of my rainaboo out there. You know, it doesn't even matter really too much what you do with them. They're really great to have around. And I tell you what, you know, there's something really cool about the rainaboo, right? Now, they are vegetarian, right? They go and they eat them, that stuff. And then, you know, their droppings actually are really useful, right? You just dry them out. You can turn them into kindling for firewood, whatever. I got a bin full of this stuff. Sometimes, you know what? I mean, again, it's totally edible. It's just grass. It's just been kind of stored or filtered, right? That's what they should be doing. Beyond Meat, that should be that, you know, rainaboo droppings right there. That is the new Beyond Meat. I think I'm going to make a business out of that.
Jason is a confusing individual with a lot of different stuff going on, and I've never been able to really define who he is. And I think that's why everybody loves him and why he's such an inspiration to people, because you can't just take Jason and put him in a little compartmentalized little box, because there's just too much going on there.
Can I leap tall buildings in a single bound?
Jason can't leap tall buildings, but he is pretty flexible.
A force to be reckoned with, ready to give everything for everybody, and he's a friend who will be there no matter what.
He's an amazing human. He doesn't seem to need to sleep until he's got the time.
He's definitely eccentric sometimes, probably in his approach, but he's brilliant in the way he does things, and he really accepts everyone. I think that's a major factor.
I think Jason is brilliant, and he doesn't even know it.
I'd say eccentric and brilliant and just the side of crazy. Because I think crazy, you kind of lose control a lot of the times. You can't keep your stuff together. Jason is pretty together, you know, but he's pushing it.
What does it mean to be Jason Steele? I'm this weird creative guy. Just likes to do the creative things that I want to do. I'm not on any medication. With either a pickaxe or a stick of dynamite. Only one's going to get you liquid gold by the end of the day. Nothing wrong with medication, but a lot of people, you know, it helps. Some people say, maybe I should be. And I say, you know what? I'm natural the way I am. I do the weird stuff that I do, and I think the way that I think, and I kind of like it. Sometimes it gets me a little trouble because got too many things in my brain at one time, but I don't think I would want to change how I think. But part of it is I get excited about people's projects. Shiv comes to me with, hey, I want to make a video with shoes. And I go, cool, let's do it. He'd been saving shoes and putting eyeballs on shoes to do this music video. And he shows me some of the shoes, and I'm like, these are really cool, right? He's got these alligator skin shoes with teeth, and this is great.
A lot of things that he was filming around what I wanted him to film, that I'm like, why is he shooting up? Why is he spinning around, shooting up the lights up there? I didn't even want that. And then later when I saw it, I realized, oh, I do want that. I didn't know I wanted it, but Jason captured that because he's seen it was magical. And just because I didn't write it into the thing doesn't mean it made the final video, and it was something that we needed, but I didn't think I needed it at the time.
I love that guy. He surprises me constantly with his creative talents.
He got me to act in something called Cheaters, Robbers and Outlaws. And I'm not an actor, and I didn't have any lines, but I had a lot of screen time, so that was probably the craziest thing. I just went from doing nothing to being an actor in a movie. So.
Oh my gosh. When we were on set, he was doing stunts. We had our stunt coordinator, and I had this idea of like, I want to drop a chandelier on his head. So how do we do that safely?
The chandelier drop was something that I picked out of the script after I read it because I didn't have any lines. And I think the reason I wound up in it was because I told Jason I do my own stunts. I used to be a wrestler and I can do a lot of physical stuff. So I wound up in this thing, and when I read through it, the chandelier thing stood out to me as that's my swan dive for this thing. That's my big moment.
And he was like, "Oh, just drop a chandelier on my head." And she was like, "I don't think we could do that. You know what? I think we have to cut that." And he was like, "No, that's the stunt I want to do. That's the whole reason I want to do this. I want the chandelier on my head." And so finally, the day of the shoot, our stunt coordinator was sick. So
Okay.
All right.
Quiet, everybody.
They were expecting to drop the chandelier and I would just fall over or whatever. My idea for it was exactly the same as I'd take a wrestling DDT, and I modified that so I didn't just fall on my face, but would jackknife my body vertical, so my head and shoulders would go into the floor and everything else would stay straight as an arrow.
So I had the chandelier there, and he said, "Can we do the chandelier?" Yeah, we'll do the chandelier. So we did the chandelier drop. Action. He said, you know what, I didn't like it. I don't think it worked great. I want to do it again. I think we did it 6 times, and every time he throws the chandelier in the air. It was just this metal chandelier thing. It would hit him in the face. He would just flip and land on his shoulder. And he was like, okay, I'm going to do it again. I don't like it. And I was cringing the whole time because I thought, I don't know if this is really covered by my insurance. But I love the guy, and I knew that was the stunt he was willing to die on a hill for. And I was like, okay, we're getting you your stunt, but don't hurt yourself anymore.
And I'm like, "Jason, do the chandelier thing. Come on." I was begging him, right? Every time I saw him, "Let's do that chandelier thing. It'll be fine, right?"
Yeah, so that was one of my favorite moments with him, because he will push to the limits to get what he wants out of something.
He goes everywhere from just being a guy who likes to eat pizza and hang around to being a superhero and everything in between. And the arch is somewhere in here. The superhero's here, and then just Jason the person's here, and he covers the whole gamut. It's his willingness to get his feet wet in anything and just to take it to the next level. You know, the way he immerses himself in stuff, I guess. A good partnership, you know, kind of like Batman and Robin, but we take turns being Batman.
Do I add value to people? I don't know. I think people are happy that, you know, somebody steps in and maybe helps out once in a while. I think people are happy to have somebody they can call. And so I guess that adds value. You know, I might help. I don't know. I want to say yes, but then at the same time, I don't know. I try. I guess that's the best way I can answer it. I try to add value to people. You know, if there's something that they're moving towards, you know, I'm going to do what I can to help, you know, give them whatever guidance and support I can, and hope that they're successful. But in the end, it's not me that does the work. I might show up and drive somebody to a Suboxone clinic every day, but they're the one who has to go in and do it. I may be able to offer some support or guidance, but it's them that does the work. I just say, you know, I got an idea. This might help. And then they take it from there.
I wouldn't want to imagine my life without Jason.
I met Jessica, and she came into this community center, and she was talking about, I asked her, you know, tell me a little bit about yourself. What are you into? What do you like? And she talked about photography, and she said, I love photography, and I'd love to do like a showing of my photographs. And we took a look at the calendar for what was available for times to do like a showing, and you know, it was a year and a half. And I said, what if we put together a little video thing? And so we did this this little kind of lunch and learn.
So this is my flight showing. I would like to share it.
where she got to talk about photography, what photography means to her. And it was just really cool to be able to give her, you know, that first step into, you know, sharing some of her creativity with others. And I felt really privileged to be able to, you know, be a part of that.
It's given me ideas and just, you know, encouraging me, like, come on, Jess, you can do this.
Hey, I'm Jason Steele, and I'm excited to be with a new author, somebody who's just recently published on Amazon, which is exciting, Jessica Swainson.
Jason's been a superhero to me because I wouldn't be where I am today as a writer. I wouldn't be in movies. I would never think to put myself out there. He's been a big part of my life. And he's really special to me. I'm really new at this directing thing. I'm pretty new at it, so I've been watching Jason and how he directs. You know, with anything, people lose confidence. And sometimes I lose my confidence, and I'll be chatting with Jason and he'll give me pointers and what to do and what not to do. He's just been very encouraging, and I've been able to grow as an actress, as a writer, because he's brought me out of my comfort zone a bit.
Since then, you know, she's done so many different things, and I was blown away when she, even for this project, when she put in a pitch in, and I thought, oh gosh, a pitch about me. Oh, nobody's gonna say anything about that. Like, that's just not gonna work. And then all of a sudden, here we are. I just love that I can, you know, chat with her about all of her different projects. And I got to play this ridiculous character in her web series as well. Two ridiculous characters. One is a king and one is the king's evil twin brother. Or I don't know if he's a twin, but he's a brother, evil brother. And it was just a lot of fun, you know. So we're able to, you know, collaborate and do some cool creative stuff together. And I'm very happy to have her in my life to just to add more creativity to the world. And that's really cool. Curtis is this amazing, cool, creative force. I just love the guy. We initially connected sort of like, I don't know, 10 years ago, and somehow we became Facebook friends. And I don't know if we'd actually met during that. I really don't remember if we met back then. And then he and I began to work together at this community center, and it was like, hey, I know this guy.
The actions I see Jason do for the community are exponential. He will drop everything on a dime with what he's doing and go more than that extra mile. I know in my experience with him, there's been many times where I've just phoned him up and he's, you know, dropped everything on a dime and said, yeah, I can be there. What do you need from me? And then he'll show up and then he'll take a camera or something, or he'll start writing what I've been working on and then take it and run with it.
When I did my web series, The Bin, I asked him to compose for that, and did this really cool rendition of Amazing Grace. It was kind of a twisted version of it, and I really loved it, and we ended up using that. That was my first time working with a composer as opposed to stock music. You know, we're both really trying to make our way in different creative industries, but, you know, we have crossovers. It was really cool to have these conversations with somebody else who is also kind of an up-and-coming artist and struggling and trying to figure things out, and we're both on paths, and it's kind of cool to have our paths be aligned.
He's really good at listening, and he's also good at guidance and making sure that you're on track with who you are and who you want to be. And I think that's the selfless part of Jason. He will give so much that he sometimes forgets who he is and what he deserves as an individual. And it's time we give back to Jason, because sometimes superhero powers might run out. I don't know. I don't have one. Well, maybe I do. But I know Jason has one, and he's constantly giving back to the community for sure on many levels.
Fun in My Shade was so exciting because that was the first music video I'd ever done. And Curtis came and said, you know, direct it, you know, go with it. Just do whatever you want to do. And it was kind of, you know, are you sure?
I don't look at you the same way that you see me.
But it was really cool for me to be able to create a storyline in 3 minutes, right? This short, or 3 or 4 minutes. Just to take a music video, take a song, and create a story. And Curtis was on board. It was really cool to have Curtis say, just roll with it, just do what you want to do, and have that freedom to take his work and then create my own version of the story off of it. And there were elements of it that were from parts of his life, right? I really did try to tie in elements that were in his life and into that story, and it was really cool to do that.
He allows everybody to be themselves. He will listen and he will help, but he won't change anything about you. He allows you to discover who you are. And that's something really cool about Jason. And I think that's one of the special recipes about him as a superhero, is he's very genuine, and he'll allow you to discover yourself, but be there to guide you on that journey. And that's been really cool. And I think that's one of the great ways that he brings people together in the community.
I love hearing other people get excited about trying something new. Stand-up comedy was another example.
So I just said, in exchange, you just have to listen to this joke. Fair warning though, it's cheesy. Yeah, I apologize if anybody here is lactose intolerant. When it comes to comedy and just being creative in general, it's important to be able to branch out, and I don't think I'd be as far as I am right now, in particular with film, if I didn't have the opportunities with Jason, or even to have a guy that says, yeah, I'll come be in your low budget $0 production and just feed me lunch and I'll be happy. Jason's just a great all-around person that really tries to get the best out of people and sees the best in everybody.
Nick, he and I met doing stand-up comedy. He'd been doing stand-up comedy a little longer than me, so he was there before, and he and I started to work together on Easter Seal's Disability Film Challenge projects, and so I think we've done 4 projects, and then just recently we did Legend of the Sandwich Master is what we've called that one. And I'm playing a pirate in that, who is the greatest panini pirate ever, you know, and I'm super proud of my paninis.
Oh no, here comes the onions. Oh no, I don't know what happens when you put onions in this situation. This is good. Oh, this is bad.
And, but then I see somebody else make a sandwich better than mine, and I have to secede my greatness as the greatest sandwich maker. It's a ridiculous little short, but I was happy to help him out, do some camera work and act in it and whatever. I know the things that Nick wants to do. I know that he sometimes does have a bit of a struggle with finding people who will give him the opportunity to take a shot and try something and do something. And I look and I say, you know, well, why not? You know, I'm just starting my career. He's just starting his career in these creative areas. Why don't we work together? And you know what? Neither of us is Hollywood. You know, we're not. Neither of us is there. So why don't we fumble around together? We figure this stuff out, and eventually, you know, we're both going to get better.
Again, I think one of the biggest things is he just sees a lot of potential. He sees the ability that I have rather than the disability, and I think a lot of people judge what I can do based on my disability just because I have some limited walking, or things might take me a little bit longer, but when it comes down to it, you know, I have a university degree and I'm very smart and capable of most things, and so sometimes just having somebody in your corner is all you need to be able to grow as an artist.
We make each other better just by, you know, and, you know, he'll call me and ask me, hey, how do you do this thing? And, you know, I'll give him a little bit of feedback, and I'll call him up and say, hey, can you help me out with this project or that? And, you know, we work together and just kind of help each other out.
He encourages you to keep going and develop your skills, and then, you know, grow and learn as you're doing it. So he's a great person like that.
You know, it's rather than saying superhero, I would say, do you care about people and do you do what you can? Yes, I do that. And that's really all it is. Dang it, I've got things I wanted to do today, but now I'm going to go do this instead because that's what's more important. And people are always going to take importance, and that's hard as a creative person because I have ideas, I have goals, I have dreams, and I might be wanting to work on a project, and I'm, you know, deep in it, and then all of a sudden somebody calls me and says, hey, I'm in crisis, like things aren't working and I need help. I'm going to drop the project. I'm going to go right there and I'm going to help, and that's frustrating. That's not a hero. I just want people's lives to work. Do I feel like I get more back than what I give? I don't think I get back what I give because it's maybe my own fault. I try to keep it hidden, what's going on. If I'm frustrated, I keep it hidden. If I'm worried about something, I keep it hidden. And if I need help with something, you know, I don't really tell people. I just kind of leave it and then just go about the next day with, you know, if somebody needs help, you know, like I said, I've dropped projects because somebody else needed help, but and you know, like, what's the difference between my project and their project if it's two different projects, you know? But I care more about other people's success and projects and stuff, I think, and it's kind of it frustrates me because I know that I could probably just say, hey, can you give me a hand with this? And there's a lot of very, very talented people that I have in my circle now who I could say, hey, can you help me out? And they would probably have the problem solved in 5 minutes. But instead, I try to fumble through it for a day or two, trying to figure out how the hell do I do this, you know? And that's hard. It's not the smartest way to do things. I just want to do the right thing. And I've only got, as far as I'm concerned, I've got one shot at life, and so does everybody else. And so I just want to help them have the best life they can and do the right thing by them. That's part of what makes me who I am, is that I take my moral stand, and I don't look to anybody else to tell me whether I've made a right choice or not.
He's too hard on himself.
Although he doesn't feel like he is a superhero sometimes, and here we are, you know, sharing the fact that he is a superhero in our eyes because he does so much stuff for us. I mean, we're all a me. It's Jason and me for this experience.
He is a superhero. He in my eyes, he's a superhero. He has done a lot for me personally, as a person, as a writer, as an actress. He's given me opportunities.
You know, I think a lot of people will say they care a lot about people with disabilities, but I don't think Jason really sees the disability. He sees your ability. Jason's definitely one of those people that, like, you know, is like a undercover superhero, you know. You definitely, you know, he's might not be wearing a cape or however you see a normal superhero, but sometimes just having somebody in your corner is all you need to be able to grow as an artist.
He's a beautiful walking spirit.
I feel like Jason's one of the most amazing humans I ever met, so I work with Jason whenever I can because he's a real great guy for ideas, and he's a real great guy for knowing when somebody else's idea is better than his, recognizes a good idea and will switch paths to follow it. Or he will have the idea that will help my bad ideas get better.
He's a special person in my life.
There should be a lot more people like Jason out there.
Yeah, I've learned a lot from Jason, and he adds a lot of value to me, and I'm a better person because of him.
I mean, he's really special. He's we have a bond that is unbreakable.
I'm the devil, Beelzebub, Satan, if you will. Anyway, you know what? I think it's just not fair. Everybody talks about, that guy, God up there. What? Why don't they talk about me? I mean, honestly, I'm the good guy here. That guy's got all these rules, do these rules, or you get out, or you don't get in, or whatever. I don't care. I take everybody in. Everybody. I mean, I eat them, but whatever, I accept everybody. Come on, I'm the good guy. Why does he get all the credit? Oh my God.